When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome everyone to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series, and tonight we are at Watkins Glen. Thanks for joining us here in the booth. I've got Rick Souza and John DeRudris.
Rick, it's going to be a fun race here tonight at Watkins Glen, our first road course of the season. And we have some road course ringers. We're looking at them right now. One of them is Lilith Peters there in the 01 Foxfire Foods Chevrolet. She has been quick all season long, has almost gotten a victory, but talked to a couple guys last week that said to watch out for this 01 car this weekend. Or I guess today. It's not the weekend. I guess it's on a Wednesday, so to watch out for this 01 car tonight.
Yeah, right now. So this is so Watkins Glen is not your usual oval track. It's a road course, our first one of the season, and it is about 2.45 miles in length. So they've got 3 laps to go for qualifying, and they've got to get those times in. Right now, we are seeing some posted times begin to populate, but let's go ahead and bring up the track stats for today's event.
Absolutely. So 82 degrees outside, 120 degree track temp, pretty hot here with increasing humidity throughout the duration of this 45 lap race. No quick repairs tonight, but you do have 5 sets of tires, 50% fuel, so you will have to come down pit road once, maybe twice. I have no clue about fuel. But what I do know is there's...
Our initial calculation, John, was about 17 or so laps per tank.
17, okay, gotcha. So that's good to know for sure. So definitely you have to make multiple pit stops. And then 3 green-white checker restarts, which we are not going to use because we are not instilling full course yellows. So this race is going to be a quick one. And if you get involved in an accident, Rick, your day is, I mean, not done by any means, because there's a long, there's, multiple corners. There's a lot of room for error here. So you don't need to give up, essentially. But if you're trying to be up in the front and you have an incident, it's not going to be a caution. You're not going to be able to stack the field back up. It's going to be pretty much, I guess, until race control's discretion on whether we throw a full course or not. I would imagine that obviously is going to be totally dependent on what happens, sort of like what you see in Formula One. Yeah, so right now, looking on the top of the board, Lilith Peters by about a tenth and a half over Mike Sladker, Chris Horrell. She's in the only car in the 111. She is absolutely burning it up out there, not worrying about track limits by any means, as you would traditionally see in other series. This track has specific track limits, and I guess we should talk about that a little bit. So there are track limits to a point in some corners. One of those corners is turn 1. You can't run off like you used to. They're going to get an off at that point in time. So paying attention to that, paying attention to the S's, that's a big high-speed section of the track that you want to be able to carry a lot of speed through to be able to corner and get a good lap in. So she just topped her top time by 3/10 right there. So a 1:11.665 is the fastest time on the board right now by almost half a second.
That is huge. That is absolutely huge. Anytime you can break the 112 barrier here at Watkins Glen, you're putting down a fabulous time. Pretty much the top 10 have broken that 112 mark, but for her to creep into the 111, that's just amazing.
It's very impressive, very, very impressive. And while we're looking at Chris Farrell right now making his way through the track, currently P2 in qualifying, talk a couple things about. I guess he bailed on that lap, and we got a car off. Justin Horton is stuck in the fence. Don't know if you want to take a look back and see what happened there.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to bring it back. I'll try to pick up somebody else. Here's Marco Berube, and the nicest paint schemes I've seen.
Pretty nice. Love the chrome. Love the high gloss there across the entire car. Yeah, really shiny. He pulls off as well. He is up on, or trying to get up on the board here. But, talking about specifically this track, talking about the race, you have to make sure, talking about my quick keys to the race, you don't have to turn the absolute fastest lap. You have to be consistent as you can. Consistent times will win this race. And so, yes, you have these guys up here in the sub 112 fives, but, watch out for some of the guys who are a little bit more consistent, because consistency, keeping the car underneath you, not burning your tires out too early in a run can help. But also, tire wear at a road course is a lot different. They wear a lot differently than an oval. So you're having somewhat potentially even tire distribution. So we'll see how this race plays out, Rick, but definitely you want to be patient. You want to take the corners and be easy on the start. But I think also track position is crucial, absolutely crucial. Starting in the top 10 is going to matter a lot. Starting, outside the top 10, it's going to be hard unless somebody in front of you gets in a wreck. And then pit road. You got to talk about pit road, getting on, getting off safely. We've seen guys spin out coming on the pit road too. So all that to say, today's race is going to be a wild one if you haven't seen a road course on iRacing yet.
Absolutely. So right now we're just winding down. There are a number of qualifying times that have come in. Pretty much the top 29 have already qualified. There are a few others who have decided to just they'll just take their place at the back and just call it from there. So pretty much I think we're just kind of looking through. Mostly everybody is off the track. So we'll just wait for qualifying to end, and we'll bring back up those track facts. But at the same time, John, what are your keys to today? I know you already mentioned tires.
Yeah, I think tires are going to be a little bit of a factor. You don't want to not use them up too much. You don't want to overheat them in a cycle. You want to be able to let them last the whole stint. Track position, number two, I think that's going to be, I mean, I would actually put track position above everything on a road course. You got to start out front since there's no cautions. And then consistency, focusing on, you may be running the third, fourth fastest lap, but if you can be consistent at that time, you can see yourself making your way through this field. And pit road as well. Pit road is going to be a big factor in tonight's success, is getting on pit road and getting off pit road and having the right strategy to where you're ending this race with, I mean, you want to cross the line as you're running out of fuel, because there's not going to be any green, white checkers. So I think pit strategy is going to be absolutely essential to maximizing your track position. So you don't want to put too much fuel in. You don't want to end the, kind of like what Formula One does. They put in just enough fuel to get through the race essentially, and that's about it. You want to have the same strategy. So those are my keys to tonight's race. And Rick, I believe everybody's done qualifying. I don't see anybody else on the track. I think we could be very, yep, there it is. That is the end of qual.
Just advanced the session, and we're now headed into our race. Let's go ahead and once our competitors get on the track, we can start bringing up the grid.
Absolutely, let's do it. Let's do it for sure. All right, so starting on pole for tonight's Tech4Troops and Goat Racing Diecast Watkins Glen event, we have Lilith Peters first pole here at a road course. Awesome there for her. Chris Worrell in second. Mike Sladker in third. Charles Van Scoyk in fourth. Great to see him up at the front. Nathan Harper in fifth. James Lowe in sixth. Zach Ward seventh. Ryan Pittman in eighth. Sean Skyman in ninth. And Christoph Hall in 10th.
All right, in 11th, Luke Bullard to the outside. Ryan Cook in 13th. Christopher Howell. Ty Bostic in 14th. Aaron Jackson in 15th. Justin Horton in 16th. Jeff Nairn in 17th. Cody Sturgill in 18th. Kane Vandemark in 19th. And John Ledger in 20th.
In 21st, you have Philip Vandertwick with Sammy Harrow to his outside in 22nd. William Ann Jr. in 23rd with Maurice Burnett in 24th. In the 25th starting position, you have, 25th, you have Marco Berube, Harley Barletta in 26th. In 27th, Austin Hable. In 28th, Ian Ogden. In 29th, Brian Johnson. And Ryan Walter starts the drivers who did not qualify. So you have Josh Keller there in 31st, Bobby Gibson in 32nd, and David Watts in 33rd, rounding out our 33-car field. Really quick, I do want to mention track limits. So the off-track rule is the car is considered within the track limits if half the car is within the boundaries of the track. Off-tracks occur with four wheels off the edge of the following described boundaries. So on turn one, that is where you don't want to have half of your car over the yellow and white turtles. And the same thing on corner exit going into the corner you're about to see here. You want to make sure you're keeping at least half your car on those yellow and red turtles. So those are the two corners you definitely need to pay attention to with track limits. You don't want to go over that. Everywhere else on the track is fair game in those two corners. So those are the two corners for sure that we want to definitely keep our eyes on. But Rick, I think we're about to go green.
Yeah, soon enough. So also we can't forget that we do have the Goat Racing Diecast tournament, and now we are down to 4 drivers. We've got Chris Worrell versus Philip, and we are under green. Lilith Peters versus Nathan Harper. So we'll keep an eye on those 4 drivers.
Here we go, down to the turn one. Looks like everybody makes it through cleanly. You see the 06 go really wide. Car spinning in the back, I believe. Not sure who that is, but a car off track.
Philip Vandertwerk, I believe.
I believe in the back.
I think Ryan Walter and Bobby Gibson were also involved.
Yep, turn one is pretty treacherous as we see these drivers make their way through the bus stop.
That's Lilith Peters out front there, really setting the pace. Chris Worrell is sitting in second. Mike Slagter is in third. Charles Van Scoyk in fourth. Zach Ward, James Lowe, Sean Skytman, Ryan Pittman, Luke Bullard, and Christopher Howell. That's your top 10.
That is your top 10, and one lap in the books here. Lilith Peters leads lap number 1. Another championship bonus point there.
She has really come on strong these last few races for sure.
Oh, 100% been one of the best cars. Oh, we got a spin in the back. Luke Bullard in turn 1 is around, Rick. He got spun by, I believe, that was the Christoph Hall machine. Looked like Christoph came in a little bit hot into turn 1, got underneath the 3, and that's going to put Luke all the way to the back of this pack.
See if we can go back.
That's how quick it happened.
There you go.
Round went to 3. Yep. Was able to keep it off the wall, so not too much damage between both of those cars, but that is our first incident of tonight's race outside of lap 1. First spin that we saw.
Going back through the top 10. Got some different shots of some different drivers out here. So really the top 10 I think are pretty close together. The field is definitely beginning to stretch out.
It definitely is, and that's what you're going to see at a road course. You're going to see the field string out and see who's pushing really hard, who's not, where this field is going to go. 3 laps in. Lilith Peters already out to a 1-second gap.
Looks like I've got a I was supposed to say Ian Ogden. Gonna go back here to see what happened to Ian real quick. Treacherous corner. This is turn 1. So easy to do just that.
Yep. Hit the turtle. The turtle got him around. He ate a little donut and back right the right way. All right, looks like we have a pass right now going on potentially between Aaron Jackson and Christoph Hall. They were battling a little bit there. They're one of the closest battles on the track.
I think Luke Bullard may have also spun.
Again?
Yes.
Tough day for Luke.
There's a lot of guys will say, yep, I'm a road course driver, I'm an oval driver. Very few say, I can do both. I love both. So.
Exactly. We got Harley Barletta trying to make a pass on Cody Sturgill going into turn 1. Harley Barletta gets that pass done. As we see William Mann Jr. go way wide in 1, that's going to be a track limit warning.
That's the 81 of Barletta. Know that Jason from Tech4Troops has joined us in the booth. So Jason, whenever you're ready, chime right in. You know, I'm sure Jason's going back through the field and looking at paint schemes and.
You got me.
Hey.
I was doing just that. Trying to decide on a winner. There's a couple of contenders, but I did have some other stuff that I wanted to go over first before I make that call. First and foremost, June 22nd and 23rd. If it's still in your mind, it should be. If it isn't in your mind, you need to write it down, tattoo it somewhere, whatever you got to do, because it's coming. It's going to be awesome, and as soon as I can give you more information, I will. The second part, you may notice a new Instagram, our Tech4Troops _game_core. We have a brand new Instagram manager running that, and we have interactive giveaways and some history of members of the team and some of our programs. Absolutely worth checking out. It's just something new that we're doing. We're trying it, and we've got a really, really positive response. I'm very excited about that. I am still stalling for time as I'm trying to make a call on one of these cars. But I did want to mention that Watkins Glen is something that from a kid, I was always, every summer I would go with my grandfather. He was in the Navy, then worked for the Corning Glass Works, and we got to sit on turn 10. And turn 10, my grandmother famously always told the story that, oh, I hope there's a crash. I hope no one gets hurt, but I hope there's a crash, was what little 4-year-old me would say. And more times than not, it happened. And every time that I was there, the driver walked away. So always a win. But to hear her tell that story, just priceless. I'm going to need to make the call here, and I've been back and forth in my mind, and I got to say, the number 3 car, or in third place, I'm sorry, Mike Slagter, he's just got that look again. So he's going to go ahead and win our scheme skirmish for the Speedway this week. But I do have a challenge to put out to all the drivers over the upcoming weeks. We are getting a lot of personal attention from 988. So the phone number that you should call if you're having any type of intrusive thoughts, any problems, they're coming to us now to get that out there. We want to make 988 as ubiquitous as 911. So I'm coming to you guys. What can we do? What kind of paint jobs can we show off, and what can we show them? So that's the gauntlet I'm throwing down this week. And again, Mike Slagter being our winner, congratulations. I'll be in contact about that sweet, sweet loot. And gentlemen in the booth, thank you so much for letting me ramble on.
You got it. So there you have it. That's Jason Parker with Tech4Troops. Couple of notables. There's an exciting upcoming event. We don't know any details happening in June. We'll get that to you as soon as Jason makes that information available. And also to focus on mental health and utilizing a 988 call to when there's a problem. That's what you dial. All right. Thank you very much, Jason, for that. And we'll congratulate Mr. Mike Slagter on his winning paint scheme for today at the Glen.
Absolutely. Always love having Jason up here in the booth. Always enjoy what he brings, and I'm very curious about that date. You know, he's got that spinning in all of our heads. Obviously, very important information he shared as well. So next week, be on the lookout for some of those paint schemes, and also be on the lookout for upcoming things with Tech4Troops. Absolutely, go check out their new Instagram as well. Rick, I've been keeping track of some of these lap times right now. Fastest car on the track is actually Charles Van Scork, sitting in 4th. He's slowly making his way up, actually faster than Lilith Peters. Just a little bit. They're pretty close. But he is basically the fastest car on track outside of the leader. Everybody else somewhere in the mid 113s. Third fastest car on the track is Mike Slagter there, sitting in P3. So all these top 4 are fairly identical. We're going to see what happens at the line this time by. This is the beauty of road course racing.
Yeah, that's all the good stuff, but at the same time, there's also some things happening. I see John Ledger may have gone off track. Again, we're back on turn 1. It's easy to hit those turtles and look, see what you get.
Yep, you jump that turtle just right, and he towed. Next thing you know, you're into the pits, or you're into the wall. Thank goodness none of the incidents tonight, I think, unfortunately, outside of Bobby Gibson, have ended up with the car on the wall. So I hate that for John. But right now, that's the matter of this race. You spin, you get back into it, and hopefully you can continue. But Charles Van Scoik in P3, that lap, he actually was right at the 113 mark. Lilith ran a 112.1. Morel ran a 112.5. Slagter ran a 112.3. Looking throughout the rest of the field, nobody else outside of Zach Ward and James Lowe are even in the 112. So definitely a tough circuit tonight. And Like you said, 17 laps is around where we expect to see some of these guys come down, guys and girls come down pit road. So definitely pay attention to hearing about 7 laps.
All right, yes, that's our 10th lap in the books. Kind of going back through the field.
And Van Scoik actually just ran his fastest lap of the race. So he's back there running impressive times.
Trying to give folks a shot of their drivers. Road course is a little bit easier to do that than an oval. Kind of key in a bit on the different cars themselves as they make their way around the track. It's James Lowe in the 07.
And that's a portion of the track right there. You see everybody basically going wide of those yellow and red turtles. That is not a measured track limit portion of this track. Right here, you're about to see very different. You're not going to see anybody go too wide of those turtles. So there's Sean Skytman there. He's sitting in 7th, up 2 places. And let's talk about Ryan Pittman. You know, Ryan Pittman has had a rough start to the season. He's sitting there in the 08 in 8th. Got a car stopped on the front
That's
stretch.
David Watts, I believe.
Yep, a car stopped. Not sure what's going on with David, but he is... Now he's back up and rolling. I think he's all right.
Some great shots from different cameras we're bringing you right from the turtles.
The turtles have been a little busy tonight, especially in turn 1. What an awesome shot that is.
That may make the highlight reel there.
That is. I think we need to maybe go back and not, just go back to that one and let the audio do its thing and let these cars just rumble on by. I loved it.
We're showing you all of our speed cams.
Maybe we need to crank it up section of the race. Right here?
Yeah, we're doing it right now. Now that was amazing. Did you see
that was awesome.
Did you see the little
The
bit
grass?
of grass? Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
Oh. For a good day out here. Hasn't moved up any spots, but he's been consistent. He's been running very solid times. Actually just ran his fastest lap of the race 1 lap ago, so watch out for him to be consistent here. And let's talk about that really quick too. Some of the biggest leaders of the race so far, Sammy Harrell in the 43, up 15 positions. I just jinxed Ryan. Look at that. Sorry, Ryan, if you're listening to this. You got Sammy Harrell up 7 positions in 15th. You have Maurice Burnett up 8 positions in 16th. You have Harley Barletta up 9 positions in 17th. So you have a lot of drivers that are up quite a few positions. You also have Josh Keller, new face here to the Tech4Troops Cup Series, back in the 24th spot. He is up 7 positions as well. Now, on the flip side, you have some big losers. Nathan Harper, minus 16. Luke Bullard, minus 12. Kane Vandermark, minus 12. They are in 21st, 22nd, and 22nd, respectively. So, 27th and 22nd, respectively. So, Kane Vandermark actually back in 31st. So unfortunate for some of those guys. But what's not unfortunate, Rick, is the lap times that Lilith Peters continues to put on the field. Oh, we got our first round of pit stops. Jason's low on pit road. On lap 14.
Number of drivers are in the pits.
But Lilith already out to a 5-second lead over Chris Farrell. Is that going to be the driver that stops this Chris Farrell train going on, Rick? You know, he's won 4 out of the last 5. We've only had 5 races here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series, so he is putting a absolute stranglehold on this field right now and making himself known. So, Rick, can Lilith be the one to stop the Chris Farrell train?
Well, certainly it's been a battle. Lilith, if you look at our tournament, you know, Lilith has been able to battle all the way. She's now in the final 4 against Nathan Harper. So that's a win that she'll have to make. But overall for this event, I really think that this is her, you know, her specialty. She loves a road course. So, and just from what we're seeing here, just amazing times and consistency.
Yeah, she is very consistent. She's been the fastest car on track over the first 15 laps. Now, she's getting into some lap traffic right now, but she has been the fastest overall. Now, looking back 1 lap ago, you got to note Chris Farrell was about 0.2 faster, and Mike Slatker was about 1.7 faster than Lilith, but also she's dealing with heavy lap traffic, so you got to keep that in consideration.
Yeah.
But right now, you know, it's definitely the Lilith Peters show here at Watkins Glen, and we were warned. We were like, she's good, and we heard that from multiple different drivers. So we'll see if she can bring it home. We're a third of the way through this race, so appreciate everybody for tuning in so far. Again, but this is going to be a quick one. No cautions, unless we have, I guess, a parking lot, which I don't see us having a parking lot.
No,
anymore.
pretty rare on a road course that we end up having to have a full course yellow. It just takes so long to recover lots of extra laps if we do go under caution. So most of that's handled with a corner caution, and as a driver, you're basically just warned if there's a car that has spun out, or just be careful. A couple other drivers now making their way onto pit road. Chris Farrell and Sean Skytman, they're both in. We're expecting Lilith Peters to be on next time by. Again, we thought that would be the case. She's coming right now into the bus stop. You know, this is an opportunity for as she makes her way towards the front stretch. That is the opportunity to get onto pit road. But that's 16 laps in the books. We'll see if she takes this opportunity to go in the pits. That would be a no. Oh, yes.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah. No? Yes.
Yep.
So your leader is on pit road.
And so is Charles Van Scoik.
Yeah, we'll stay with the 01. But Van Scoik and Zach Ward, Christopher Howell, Ryan Pittman, pretty much this is the time to come in, and we're seeing that. Just fuel.
And that's
fuel.
not too unexpected, because if you have and you keep your car and you're not overheating your tires, you don't have any offs, you know, you're not sliding your car, you don't have any, you know, flat spots, you can go the whole, not I wouldn't say the whole race, you can go a decent amount of time without using up too much of your tires. You know, using the actual car to slow down and brake, using, you know, not too much. And we'll see what happens now with a little bit of a heavier load, because she has put fuel into the car. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Now, Mike Slatker, your current leader, is now on pit road. He is making his way down now. So this is going to be the battle for the lead. Could Mike gain anything while Lilith was trying to make her way through. And it looks like something happened to Chris Farrell as well. He is all the way back in 18th position.
Yeah, he was. He had an extended
48
Yeah,
seconds.
Yeah, 48 seconds on pit road.
Yep, and Mike Slatker's getting tires, it looks like.
So that makes, I'm guessing he got a black flag for speeding.
I'm looking at my side. I can only imagine that's what happened because I don't see anything now, but I can best believe that's what happened now. We got a lot of guys on pit road. Ryan Cook, Aaron Jackson, Sammy Harrell, Ty Bostic, Maurice Burnett, all on pit road.
All these guys are getting tires. We're going to go back and pick up Lilith, who's made her way back to the top of the leaderboard.
She has, and now she's gotten a 13-second lead over Mike Slatker. Now, keep in mind, Mike Slatker spent about 7.5 seconds on pit road. So, you know, considering pit road speeds and whatnot, you know, the gap is probably closer to 6 if Lilith comes down at the later stage of the race and get tires. But, you know, she just ran. This is going to be her first lap on these older tires. We're about to see what she runs here. She runs a 1:12.1, which is 0.4 off of her qualifying lap. Those tires are good. Now, Mike Slatker back in pit road. Looks like he may have
A speeding penalty on
penalty
exit.
as well, possibly as well. So that's going to make this even more interesting now because that brings Charles Van Scoyk up to second, but he is 19 seconds behind Lilith Peters. He also had 7 seconds of additional time on pit road due to getting tires, so consider it like 13 seconds, but still substantial lead that Lilith has at basically the 20 lap mark.
Charles Van Scoyk is now working his way up through traffic. Same with Zach Ward. Those are both for position as they work their way through the bus stop. Also, I do see that Sammy Harrell was involved in an incident at some point. David Watts as well may have just had some trouble. Let's just jump back to Sammy Harrell. This is entering into the bus stop. Get the car, guess.
He had a really... Oh
yeah.
Wow. I mean, he had a really shallow entry into the bus stop that I think upset the car quite a bit. It was definitely a little bit of an awkward entrance into pit road, but that's unfortunate. Now there's Chuck Van Scoyk. He just ran a 1:12.8. Now he is on brand new tires, so the heat cycle needs to kind of start to kick in for those tires. But Lilith last time ran a 1:12 flat. She is the fastest car on the track by far. The only 2 cars that are in the 1:12s right now are Charles and Lilith herself. So everybody else in the 13.4s and above.
All right, 26 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hi, America. Mark Castro, President of Tech4Troops. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you for making 2023 such an amazing year. We completed our mission, and it feels good to have another successful year behind us. But I want to tell you, this year, 2024, is our 10th anniversary. 10 years of doing this mission, and you have been so supportive of us. So I want to take a moment to say, please continue to support us. We're going to have an event or more every month. Please stay tuned in our calendar. Please stay tuned on our social media. Join us in the celebration of our mission and what we do. And we look forward to seeing you and having your support for our mission of ending veteran homelessness through bridging the technology divide. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
All right, welcome back. We are watching some road course specialists really show this Tech4Troops drivers the way to get around Watkins Glen. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM network here in the booth with John Drudris and myself, Rick Souza, bringing it to you live as it happens. And we were just remarking that Lilith Peters is really just showing us the way. We thought the best thing to give you an example, since we're on the front stretch, was to ride along in her cockpit.
Let's do it. So here she is down in the turn 1. Nice smooth exit. Here comes turn 2, the S's.
She's just slinging that car out.
Absolutely. Here we come up to turn 5, the bus stop right here. Great entry. That's where she gains a lot of time. Goes a little bit wide. She's going to get a really good exit off the corner here. Shoot the car wide as well, trying to get as much straight line speed as she can. Down to third gear. Don't want to go off track here. Comes back, backs up the corner to try to make the pass, coming on the front stretch, which she's definitely going to do. On the 8 of Maurice Burnett.
Wow, that's a clinic on how to drive this next-gen car here at Watkins Glen.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, she's doing a great job at doing everything right. I mean, right there you can see she's on the point of track limits, but that's where you need to be to maximize your potential gain. I mean, she's doing a great job, and right here, you know, really handling the car nice and setting up turn 2, essentially, where you can exit turn 4 very nicely. You know, it all, turn 3, turn 4, and even going into the bus stop can slightly be messed up, because if you mess up turn 2, it messes up 3 and it messes up 4. So the fastest drivers are able to get through first corner and really set yourself up for success later. So she's got a battle right in front of her there. That is Van Scoyken, or my bad, that is Barletta and Harper.
That's a battle for the tail end of the field, though. If she passes these guys, she's going to lap them.
Yep, so definitely she is lapping the field now. There's 16 cars on the lead lap here at Watkins Glen. Kind of shocking, but again, it's not, I guess.
No, and I think that this is pretty typical. And if we go back and look at strategy, you know, about half the field did not take tires. And so those drivers that did take tires, and you're seeing her, she's laying down laps of 112, not far off of her qualifying speed on the same tires she started this event with. So tire wear is not the same. Drivers who may not be as familiar all chose to take tires, and that gave them another, you know, an 8-second disadvantage to what these leaders are putting down. She's kind of taking her time, working her way around the lap traffic, you know, giving them a wide berth, trying to find the right place on the track to make those passes.
Yeah, she's doing a great job out front, leading this pack, and up to basically a 22-second gap on the field. So
we got to go back to the field, see if there's any other battles shaking out. We'll look back here. That's the 7 of Zach Ward. He seems to be all by himself, looking for other battles. Christopher Howell is back. He's got the 7 of Lowe on his tail. Looks like Ryan Pittman was slinging it around that corner.
that's what you got to do sometimes.
Yep, that's currently, he's in 7th place. Jumping back to Christoph Hall. Christoph is now in 8th. He is +2. The biggest mover is Christopher Howell. He is +9, sitting in 4th. Justin Horton in the 39. Kaiju Cat Motorsports up to 9th. He's picked up +7. Our biggest loser because of that penalty he had to battle is Chris Worrell. He's now back in 10th.
Yeah, he's in 10th and trying to take everything he can right now, trying to make his way back up through the field. 52 seconds off the lead. 20 seconds off a podium.
Back at Ryan Cook in 11th. Mike Slagter right there in 12th. There is an NB2 driver we haven't talked about much tonight. This is Jeff Nairn back in 13th. Aaron Jackson back in 14th. Goat Racing driver, that's the 1464 Sturgill. He's got Ty Bostic on his tail. That is a battle for position. Nathan Harper. Not sure what happened to Nathan, but he's definitely back there. He's down 12 spots in 17th.
Wow.
Behind him, Harley Barletta. Got Maurice Burnett. Another slip, Luke Bullard, we talked about some possible incidents he was involved with. He has fallen 9 spots. He's seen back in 20th. William Mann Jr. trying to get past the 7 of Zach Ward, but William Mann Jr., he is at least 1 lap down. Trying to catch everybody here. That's Brian Johnson, the 00. Maurice Burnett, we're talking about that paint scheme, that Super Gloss 99.
One of the best ones on the field, by far.
Yep, David Watts in the 54. The 48 of Phil Vandertwick. Definitely in a battle there with the 06. I mean, he's 4 laps down, but obviously with any battle here on a road course, you're going to wind up catching up, or they'll catch up to you, leaders, and you just got to work your way around.
Exactly.
Watching the 43 of San Miguel. All right, so back up front, our leader, Lilith Peters, has found, unfortunately, the tail end of the field again, and she's trying to work her way around the 22 of Luke Bullard, and they're not making it any easier.
Not at all. They're trying to battle, really quick themselves, and here comes the leader to the outside. Sturgill not gonna check up.
You just got to really be super careful that, you don't want to take out the leader.
No, not at all. I mean, there's some communication going on, so my guess is he might be saying, hey, go high here. I think that's exactly what happened. Whoa, that was close.
Super close.
You got a little loose out of that corner. But she is a full 24 seconds ahead of Chuck Van Scoik.
Should go farther back. We'll see where Chuck is. He's just, he's making his way through the bus stop. This is really about just being consistent. Lay down the best time you can. His, Lilith's last time around was a 113 flat. His last lap was a 113.18. So super close. Not quite 2 tenths off, but still close.
Yeah, and I'm curious, Rick. Is are her tires going to last this entire race? I mean, we saw. I think Chuck, he got 4 sets of tire. Or yeah, all 4 tires changed in the last stop. He just ran a 1:13 flat, so the delta is definitely creeping together. With 16 laps to go, you obviously need to pit again. We see James Lowe on pit road, but you got to pit, so. I think the gap's going to be a little bit closer, but are we going to see?
Do you take tires next time by?
I mean, I would think you needed to. I mean, with the 25-second gap, you have the cushion to be able to do that. We'll see.
I mean, she could legitimately take tires and still retain a 10-second.
She's a little loose there. Like a 10-second gap. I mean, it's good.
Well, to go back up to 18 seconds once once Charles comes in, even if he just takes straight through.
Yeah, exactly. And so to see her last lap was a 1:12.4, still 7/10 off her qualifying lap, fastest car on the track by any means, almost faster than Van Scoyk's fastest lap of the race. Van Scoyk is about to pass the start-finish line. He ran a 1:13.2. And this is where I'm going to be very curious to see what she does trying to get through this field, because you have a lot of guys that are trying to battle for the top 10. You got Jeff Nairn, you got Randy Cook, you got some of the guys in front of her. So you got to be careful.
Yep.
You got guys battling for very valuable positions up in front.
Well, and she's also working away. There's also significantly lap down traffic that's up there as well. You can see right there from our tower that really you've only got 12 cars on the lead lap, but here she is now. She's on to pit road.
All right, let's see what the cards are going to be here. What is going to be dealt? Are we going to see Charles Van Scoyk go long, try to put the least amount of fuel in as he can? That way he can have a smaller delta to make up at the end. I mean, we'll see, but here we go.
We'll see what Lilith does here, then we'll drop back and see what happens with Charles.
I don't think she's taking tires.
No, I think she's got a little bit of nose repair made, just a tiny bit, but no, that is a fuel-only stop.
Yep, fuel only for the 01. I guess it works. I mean, Charles is, 4.5 seconds in front of her right now. So, we know he has to come down pit road soon. He's definitely got a pit, within the next couple laps so far. I mean,
he's just getting out of the bus stop right now.
I'd be shocked. I mean, I guess tire wear doesn't really matter at all. I guess we'll see what happens.
Keeping our eye on Charles, see if he chooses to come into the pits now.
Oh, he's going to get kind of slowed up here by the 8 car, not able to hit the apex the way he wanted to. He's still out on the track, though, going to get a lap lead, and there's Lilith right there, 3.6 seconds back.
And he still has the pit.
Zach Ward and Christopher Howell on pit road.
This is going to be a battle if she catches up to him. Let's bring up that gap. It's now down to 2.9. As she makes her way through the bus stop, he is just in front of her. There's no cars in between these two. With 13 laps to go.
I feel like he's got to pit soon.
Yeah,
Yep, there it is.
Right now.
So Lilith is on an island.
Yes.
Basically.
Yep.
Has no one to really worry about.
With 12 laps to go, she just needs to basically, I know you hear all the time, but drive her race. There's nothing to impede her. She has to work her way carefully around lap traffic. But right now, she's about to catch up to the 37 of Sean Skytman, which is the tail end of the lead lap. Sean is by himself.
Yep.
And you can see Lilith trying to close that gap behind him.
And what I'm noticing is she just ran a 1:12.2, so she's still running lap times that are faster than everybody else. The only car that is even competitive is actually Mike Slatker. His last time, or I take that back, it was Charles with a James Lowe. My bad, James Lowe with a 1:12.6. So he's running there in the 4th position. Rick, I feel like I'm watching a Formula One race right now. You have Lilith out front by 30 seconds, and you have the rest of the field battling for themselves.
Is it Lilith Peters or is it just Max?
Whoever, I don't know. Whoever it is, they're good. That's all I know. But she's out front by 31 seconds on the field. There's a battle right now going on between Zach Ward and the 88 of Christopher Howell. We'll see if the 88 dives deep. He tries to outbrake the 7. Oh. He's low. It's not enough. 7 goes off a little bit. Slings it wide. Gonna get a little bit of better arc here in the S's.
We'll follow this battle. This is a battle for 5th.
It's one of the closest battles on the track.
Battle for 4th. Sorry, Zach Ward's in 4th. So easy to make a mistake here through the bus stop.
It's ridiculously easy. It is one of the easiest places to make a mistake. And right here as well, you don't want to let a car, get to your inside. That's really gonna set up corner exit. And here we go. Got a major battle down going into the second to last turn. The 88 is there, but the 7 dives it in deep. 88's going to try a crossover. Not going to get it done because he's going to be in the high lane. 7's going to have the preferred on the bottom. And off the corner, the 7 wins that. So this is the battle for P4. James Lowe is about 3 seconds ahead of them. Second time I've seen that 7 car go wide. In turn 1.
Super easy to do. Again, you gotta find consistency. With this is if you can take away the advantage the other car has to drive his line and to force him either wide or shallow, that's your opportunity to get by. But right now, it does not look like Christopher Howell is taking away any advantage that Zach Ward has.
Yeah, it's pretty consistent lines being run here.
Looking up ahead, you do see Barletta, the 07 of James Lowe. That's lap traffic that they're trying to work their way through. The 99 is up there as well.
7 locked it up a little bit going into turn 1. Wide again.
Yeah, he consistently takes this. There's got to be some track limits there when he crosses with all 4 tires.
This is a scary part. Scary place to pass a car right here. We're about to see a major run here from the 88 now going into the bus stop. Ooh, gets a little bit wide, loses the momentum. But this is going to be a major corner. The 88's been much better here getting into the bus stop.
Yeah, but they've got slower traffic in front of them that's going to kind of impact where they get through these corners as they head back towards the start finish.
It does. 7 goes wide. 88 doesn't. 7 pulls away with a little bit of an advantage. As you see, Harley Barletta sitting right there in front of the 7 of Zach Ward. Where is Harley going to go? Harley goes high. 7 locks it up. Here comes the 88 down low. Takes the position. That's exactly what the 88 was looking for. Now, a little bit of teamwork there.
I guess a little bit of a drag strip to run down the front
That's
stretch.
2 AJM teammates, the 88 and the 81.
Little pick move.
That's what it looked like to me. Hey, all fair. And Christopher Howell moves his way into the 4th position.
Back, that's Chris Worrell. And James Lowe up here in 3rd. He's dealing with some lap drop, but that's the tail end of the lead lap. That's Luke Bullard. So not that the tail end, but he is the lap time tower here. Bullard is 1 lap time.
And there's Lilith out front, 33-second gap on the field. Absolutely wild. Now you have to remember, though, Mike Slatker and Chris Worrell did have Carlo Loose. They did have penalties which restricted. No, 7 got to the back of the 88 going into turn 1, pushed him wide. Both went wide. I think that was resolved. Looks like the 88 was all right. No harm, no damage, but the 7 definitely is now fallen way back to the 88 of Christopher Howell by a full 6 seconds.
So the 01 of Lilith Peters has made her way around the 46 of Ryan Cook, putting him a lap down. She is picking off the field right now. She's coming up to her next victim, potentially, is the 99 of Christoph Hall. He is in 10th place, but potentially he is the last car on the lead lap.
Yeah, I mean, you have Chris Worrell. You have, all these strong cars that are potentially about to go a lap down. Kind of wild with 6 laps to go here at Watkins Glen.
6 laps to go. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back for the conclusion of the Tech4Troops Cup Series at Watkins Glen.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech4Troops? Tech4Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for in-need veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to tech4troops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech4Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series at Watkins Glen. We have just 5 laps to go, and Lilith Peters is our leader. She has caught up to the 98 of Christoph Hall and is trying to work her way around the 98. And that Christoph Hall in 10th place is not putting down bad laps. His last lap was a 1:13. Still a respectable time, but
oh yeah,
in the face of a 1:11, 1:12,
He protects and gives a position to the 01 for sure.
You can tell this track is super slick. They're just kind of drifting through the S's.
Oh yeah, it's especially coming out of turn 3. It's definitely kind of crazy how much your car slides towards that wall. If you're not careful, you will hit it. Many times it's happened to me. And a car just likes to drift, just drifts up and drifts up.
Track
Here we go.
Is consistently at 120. Lilith's next potential victim. Oh, a little wide there. Kind of lost it a little bit.
Yeah, she definitely went, I think, got in the grass, and wow, way wide there for Lilith Peters. It's always a scary feeling, you know.
Right?
You're leading the race, and you have something like that happen, and it just kind of wakes you up a little bit. You're like, oh gosh, all right.
Three laps to go here at Watkins Glen. We've got a little bit of a clinic being shown to anybody. I mean, if I wanted to go back and figure out how to run this track, I would go back and watch it from Lilith's car.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'd know all of her shift points and do my best to try and recreate. She's just killing it.
Absolutely.
I go back. We've got James Lowe is. We'll go back. What's up, Miss Charles Van Scoik? James Lowe. Looking for any of the battles. Is Christopher Howell battling the 7? Nope. He's now battling lap traffic. He's got a little bit of a gap between himself and Zach Ward.
That gap is slowly closing up because of the lap traffic here, so this may be our closest battle for any substantial positions outside of Ryan Pittman and Mike Slatker there. So we'll see what happens now as you see Luke Bullard up there. There's Maurice Burnett.
Coming back to Chris Worrell. Trying to work his way. You got Harley Barletta there. This worked his way around. You've got Mike Slagter and Ryan Pittman. This is definitely 4 position. This is a battle for P7. Ninth position is Justin Horton, who happens to be a teammate of Lilith Peters and Kaiju Cat. Yeah.
Got the white flag. White flag in the air here at Watkins Glen for the 01 of Lilith Peters. She is what we are going to call, you don't see it often in NASCAR Cup racing, but max points. You got pole, you led the most laps, you led a lap, and you won the race. And as barring anything dramatic happening, I would say max points very appropriate for Lilith here tonight. You know, Rick at Watkins Glen, she looks like Max Verstappen out there. I gotta say, it's impressive to watch.
Yeah, it has.
Max points there for the 01.
Just putting it down here.
For sure. You know, she's a rookie here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series, but obviously no rookie to Watkins Glen here. Max points for Lilith Peters here, winning at Watkins Glen. And while we wait, you may want to get a snack because the rest of the field still has like half a lap to go.
Yeah, we'll get those driver interviews to you as soon as they make their way around. Of course, they've got to get all the way back around for the field to finish. And then, sure, Lilith will take her time on the front stretch. and celebrate, and we'll bring you those interviews.
Absolutely. Charles Van Scoik making his way out of the last corner right now. He is going to be second place finisher. What a great run for him. He needed a win, or he needed a second place like this, especially here at Watkins Glen. And in third, you have Mr. James Lowe just crossing the line. Just now brings home third. Christopher Howell in fourth. Zach Ward in fifth.
Good battle there. Chris Worrell coming in sixth. Mike Slagter finishes in seventh. Ryan Pittman finishes in eighth. All right, we're going back up to our leader. We're celebrating her victory.
Well, if you wanted to see what her tire degradation is, well, it's out the window. Because those tires are burnt up. But she, max points, wins tonight's race at Watkins Glen. What an absolute clinic she put on the rest of this Tech4Troops field. Hate to see some of the issues with some of our top competitors with penalties, but she was able to really show the class of the field here tonight and be the class of the field, locking herself into the playoffs. So Lilith Peters brings home the win by 38 seconds. 38 seconds over Charles Van Scoik in second. James Lowe in third. Christopher Howell in fourth. There's somebody just blew past them. Chris Worrell, or Zach Ward in fifth. Chris Worrell in sixth. Mike Sladker in seventh. Ryan Pittman in eighth. Justin Horton in ninth. And Ryan, he took in 10th.
Scarlett Skyman in 11th. Aaron Jackson in 12th. Nathan Harper in 13th. 14th is Ty Bostic. 15th is Cody Sturgill. 16th is Luke Bullard. 17th is Maurice Burnett. 18th is Hurley Barletta. Christoph Hall finishes in 19th, and Brian Johnson in 20th.
In 21st, William Mann Jr. 22nd, you have Marco Berube. David Watson 23rd. Philip Vandertwick in 24th. Sammy Harrell in 25th. Jeff Nairn in 26th. Josh Keller in 27th and 28th. You have Ryan Walter 29th. Austin Habel. John Ledger in 30th with Ian Ogden, Kane Van Mark, and Bobby Gibson rounding out 31st, 32nd, and 33rd. Rick, do we have anybody to interview?
We do. James Lowe is in our waiting room. Let's go ahead and bring Mr. James Lowe in. James, congratulations on that finish.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. Good to finish one.
Yeah, absolutely. That has been a challenge the last race.
Yeah, get wrecked by the. I won't go there. But yeah, getting wrecked a lot by some people, but that's okay.
Good finish for you. Chris wasn't far behind in sixth, but a good finish for the 07 today for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thrilled with it. This is not my specialty by no means, so I just tried to keep it on the track and use a little pitch strategy there, and it worked out to get past a couple of those guys there at the end, and yeah, so it worked out. I wish Chris wouldn't have got a speeding penalty earlier. He would have been up there at least, keeping Lilith honest anyway. But congrats to her and congrats to Charles for having good runs.
Absolutely. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, first and foremost, I'd like to thank Chris for being a great teammate. Aunt Mary Alice, if she's out there watching, I'm not sure because I forgot to send out the notification today, but that's my bad. You guys for broadcasting, and all the competitors for keeping it pretty clean there. I didn't see much carnage going on.
No, it was a pretty clean event. So, well, congratulations on your P3 finish, and I'm sure we'll see you next week. John,
all right, thanks, Rick.
John, do we know where we're going next week?
Next week, we are going to the lovely racing facility. Dun, 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 as I pull up the schedule, because I definitely know where we're going next week. Dun, dun, dun. Need to play the Jeopardy loading music here. Nobody say anything. Hold on. We are going to... Oh, gosh. Now I can't find... there we are. Okay, so next week, the Tech4Troops Cup Series, we are going to the lovely Michigan International Raceway, 100 laps.
Perfect. Very good. All right. Well, we'll see you next week at Michigan, 2 miles.
All right, thanks, guys.
Got it. All right, that's James Lowe finishing third, and we welcome to the broadcast booth Charles Chuck Van Scoik. But Chuck is there. We are. Chuck, you did a great job today. Really great a road course event for you and your team.
Yeah, I hate these. And, I'm going to kill Elliot he should have just took the road courses that I put so much practice on last season and just redid it instead of doing new ones. I would appreciate having some of my time back. But no, I suck at road racing. Absolutely, I'm horrible. No matter I race in any game before that, sim before that, just horrible. And been able to work a lot on it, and I'll take P2. I mean, she was just like a cheat code. I mean, I took tires the first go round, just figuring that would help out. But I was originally planning on taking nothing, but I just wanted more stability because I saw a couple people getting. I figured once the lap traffic would come around, I would need them. So.
Well, it was absolutely great to see you up there. Great. I'm not sure nobody had anything for Lilith tonight. She's definitely a force to be reckoned with on these road courses.
Yeah. I mean, I in practice I did a 111.7, 111.5, I think, or I don't even know. But not like that. It's just constant 12. I'm sitting there getting updates. I mean, I'm like, oh, good. I did a 12.3. Oh, she did a 12.1. All right, I did a 12.2. Okay, she did an 11.9. I'm like, Jesus. I kind of felt bad because in my head, I'm like, I hope she just like something locks up, she goes in the wall somewhere. But then my guys are getting lap iron. I'm like, oh God forbid if something happens with them around, So I just started putting on cruise control towards the end and just making sure I hit my marks and rolled through the corners. So yeah, it's finished fourth last week. Should have finished third, but for getting third, I'm finally out of. Hopefully, this is a change of luck than the the wreck fest and the target I've had on my back. So
we'll head to the rolling hills of Michigan for next week. So
yeah, I'm sure there's those type of maneuver draft tracks. Strategy. You guys know me. I'm always with the strategy. It's just I got to keep my car clean to get to it, and not get caught up and stuff. But yeah, other than that, I mean. I do appreciate everyone in the league. I put up a bunch of practice sessions, and a lot of the people running in here. And I think, from what I hear, the racer was pretty good even for the mid, and back of the pack. So it shows people putting a little time in, there not to embarrass themselves.
Absolutely. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you guys for putting it, putting on a good broadcast. Elliot and the admins for putting on a good league. Great league, not a good league, great league. My teammates over at Goat Racing in 43, Sammy, Aaron, Christoph, Maurice, Ryan, CJ, and then obviously my company, Goat Racing Diecast. If you use any of our car numbers you see here, Goat and that car number, they are sponsored drivers by me. So if you see anything on the website you like, make sure you use the favorite car number of the Goat guys, and they actually get 10% of the sale back to them. So that Goat, whatever number, so mine's Goat 23, get you 30% off your entire order.
All right. Thank you, Chuck, and we'll see you next week in Michigan.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Got it. Thank you. All right, that was your second place finisher, Chuck Van Scoik. And now we have Lilith. Congratulations on a win. That was a clinic here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, hi.
Super impressive. Obviously, you can tell road racing is something you enjoy doing.
Yeah, I started road racing long before I did oval, so I translate that pretty well, I think. And I enjoyed this track a lot too.
Absolutely. Well, it clearly shows. I mean, even towards the last half of the race where you had a lot of time between yourself and second place, watching you attack each of those corners, it was impressive to watch.
You can't give up or else you'll mess up.
Absolutely. And you made your way, uh, uh, you know, great through all that lap traffic you had to deal with. So congratulations for to you and Kaiju Cat Motorsports. Just a great finish.
Thanks. I know Nathan and I did a lot of practice, and I think he'd have gotten top 5 at least if it weren't for his drive-through. So I feel bad about that, but I'll take the default win and take it to Michigan.
There you go. Any shout outs tonight?
Shout out my sponsor, Luna Steak Sauce. I think since I win, if you use the Kaiju Cat 1 code, you get 10% off, I think. And that's at foxfirefoods.com. And thanks to my teammate Nathan. Good race, guys, and thanks for broadcasting.
You got it. Well, thank you, Lilith. It was a pleasure watching you get around tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Michigan.
Yes, sir.
And it looks like, from what we can tell, you will be in a head-to-head battle in the goat racing tournament as well. I don't know. I think we'll have to go back and double-check.
Yeah, I'm against Chris Worrell. Me and him at Michigan.
That'll be a blast to watch.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Hey, have a great night, and again, congratulations.
You too. Good night.
All right. Well, John, heck of a race here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, it's been a great race to watch. Exciting. Really run throughout the entire field. Lilith putting on an absolute clinic out there. Locks herself into the playoffs. Locks herself into the All-Star race as well. It's going to be insane to see the talent that comes out of the top 3 right now. Looking into the point standings, going into Michigan. I would, kind of throw, it could be anybody's race, but, obviously Worrell with 4 wins, Zach Ward sitting second in points, Lilith in third. You got some of these guys starting to make their way up to the top, and next week's going to be awesome. So make sure to come back next week and watch these Tech4Troops drivers tackle Michigan. It's one of the bigger tracks we've been to this year, and I think it's going to be a great, great show. But we just got to say congratulations to Lilith again, all the competitors out there. But 38-second win doesn't happen often, so it's not often you see a clinic like that. So congrats.
All right. Congratulations to Lilith again. And we look forward to seeing y'all next week here on Wednesday. And if you're not doing anything, tune in tomorrow night, Thursday, for the INRS NASCAR Racing Series. We'll be at Bristol. And then Friday, here on the IWM Broadcast Network, are our money races with the Super Speedway Kings. That race brings out the absolute cream of the crop of the iRacing competitors. Just some great battles. So congratulations to Lilith. And John, I think that's it for us.
That should be it. So, folks, hope you had a good one, and we will see you on the next broadcast.
All right. Good night, all.